There is a small island in Japan called Okinawa, and on that island, people routinely live past 100 years old. Not just a few of them, hundreds of them. In fact, Japan has more people over the age of 100 than almost any other country in the world. As of 2024, there are over 95,000 centenarians, living, breathing, active human beings who have crossed a century of life. So the obvious question is, why? What are they doing that the rest of the world is not? Is it their genes, their hospitals, their water? The answer, when you actually look at the science, is far simpler and far more actionable than most people expect. Today, we are decoding the 5 daily habits that researchers believe explain why Japan leads the world in longevity. And the best part? Every single one of them costs nothing. Let's get into it. Before we get to the habits, let's understand the scale of what we're talking about. Japan has been the world leader in life expectancy for decades. The average Japanese person lives to 84 years old. That's about 5 years longer than the average American. But here's what makes Japan truly extraordinary. It's not just that people live longer. It's that they stay healthy longer. Scientists call this healthspan, the number of years you live in good health, not just alive. In Japan, the gap between lifespan and healthspan is remarkably small. People aren't spending their last 20 years sick, medicated, and unable to move. They are gardening in their 80s, walking to the market in their 90s, playing with great-grandchildren at 100. That is the real goal of longevity, not just more years, but more good years. So what is driving this? Let's decode the 5 habits. Habit number 1. Hara Hachi Bu. This is a Japanese phrase that translates to eat until you are 80% full. Not stuffed, not satisfied, just 80% full. And then stop. This sounds simple. But the science behind it is remarkable. When you eat until you are full, your body has to work overtime to process that food. Insulin spikes. Inflammation rises. Your cells are under constant stress from excess calories. Researchers have studied calorie restriction for over 50 years, and the findings are consistent. Eating less, specifically around 20 to 30% fewer calories than your maximum, activates a process called autophagy. Autophagy is your body's internal cleaning system. It breaks down damaged cells, removes waste, and essentially slows down the aging process at a cellular level. The average Japanese person consumes around 2,000 calories per day. The average American, over 2,500. That 500-calorie difference, compounded over decades, has a profound effect on how quickly the body ages. The practical takeaway here is not to starve yourself. It is simply to slow down when you eat. Put your fork down between bites. Wait 20 minutes before going back for seconds. Your brain needs time to register fullness. Hara Hachi Bu, 80% full. Decoded. Habit number 2. A plant-heavy whole food diet. The traditional Japanese diet looks almost nothing like the standard Western diet. There is very little processed food, almost no refined sugar, minimal red meat. Instead, the staples are sweet potatoes, tofu, miso, seaweed, green tea, rice, fish, and a wide variety of vegetables. Now, here is what makes this interesting from a longevity science perspective. Each of these foods has a specific effect on the body's aging mechanisms. Seaweed is one of the richest sources of iodine and antioxidants on the planet. It reduces inflammation, which researchers now believe is one of the primary drivers of aging. Miso and fermented foods feed the gut microbiome. And the gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system, directly influences your immune system, your brain, and how fast you age. Green tea contains a compound called EGCG. In multiple studies, EGCG has been shown to activate genes that repair DNA damage. The same damage that accumulates over time causes aging. The Japanese don't think of food as comfort or entertainment. They think of it as information that they send to their cells every single day. 3 times a day, every day. For 100 years. That adds up. Habit number 3, natural daily movement. Here is something that surprises most people when they study Japanese longevity. Many of the oldest people in Japan do not go to gyms. They do not follow structured workout programs. They do not own exercise bikes or treadmills. Instead, their lives are structured in a way that builds movement into every hour. They walk to the shops. They tend to their gardens. They climb stairs. They sit on the floor and stand back up dozens of times a day. This type of movement, researchers call it NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, turns out to be as important for longevity as formal exercise. A landmark study followed a group of Okinawan elders for 25 years. The ones who lived the longest were not necessarily the ones who exercised most intensely. They were the ones who were never sedentary for more than 30 minutes at a time. The modern world has engineered movement out of our lives. Cars, elevators, desk jobs, delivery apps. Japan, particularly in rural areas, has resisted much of this, and the data suggests their bodies are paying them back for it. The takeaway is not to join a gym. It is to find ways to move naturally throughout your entire day. Walk after meals. Take the stairs. Garden if you can. Sit on the floor sometimes. Movement as a lifestyle, not a movement as a scheduled event. Habit number 4, Ikigai. This one is not about food or exercise. It is about something that Western medicine has been dangerously slow to take seriously. Purpose. Ikigai is a Japanese word that roughly translates to the reason you get up in the morning. It is the intersection of what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what gives your life meaning. Every person in Okinawa studied by longevity researchers had one. A 95-year-old woman whose Ikigai was growing vegetables for her family. A 102-year-old man whose Ikigai was teaching karate to young people in his village. The science behind this is not soft or philosophical. It is measurable. People who report a strong sense of purpose have lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone directly linked to accelerated aging. They have lower rates of heart disease, dementia, and depression. A 14-year study published in the journal Psychosomatic Medicine found that people with a strong sense of purpose were significantly less likely to die during the study period, regardless of age or health status at the start. The hard truth for many people in the modern world is this. Retirement, as it is practiced in the West, may actually accelerate aging. When the reason to get up disappears, the body often follows. Japan does not have the same concept of retirement. Elders remain active, contributing, connected, and purposeful well into their 90s. Find your Ikigai. It may be the most important longevity habit on this list. Habit number 5. Moai. Deep social connection. In Okinawa, there is a concept called Moai. A Moai is a group of close friends, usually formed in childhood, who commit to supporting each other for life. Financially, emotionally, practically. If one person in the group falls on hard times, the others help. If someone gets sick, the group shows up. If someone needs company, the Moai are there. These are not casual friendships. They are lifelong bonds with genuine commitment. And the longevity science on social connection is some of the most striking data in the entire field. A landmark review of 148 studies found that people with strong social relationships had a 50% higher chance of survival compared to those who were isolated. For context, that impact is comparable to quitting smoking. Loneliness, it turns out, is not just emotionally painful, it is physically destructive. It raises cortisol, it increases inflammation, it disrupts sleep, it suppresses the immune system. The modern world is producing a loneliness epidemic, especially in the United States and Western Europe. People are more connected digitally and more isolated in real life than at any point in human history. Japan, particularly in its older communities, has held on to something the rest of the world is only now beginning to understand the value of. Real human connection is a biological necessity, not a luxury. So let's bring it all together. 5 habits. Practice consistently over an entire lifetime. Number 1. Hara Hachi Bu. Eat until 80% full. Give your cells a break. Number 2. A plant-heavy whole food diet. Food is information, not entertainment. Number 3. Natural daily movement. Move all day, not just at the gym. Number 4. Ikigai. Know your purpose. Get up for something every morning. Number 5. Moai. Invest in deep, real, long-term human relationships. None of these habits requires money. None of them requires a doctor's prescription. None of them requires you to move to Japan. What they require is intention and consistency over time. That is the real secret the research keeps coming back to. Not a single supplement, not a single superfood, not a single biohack. A way of living. Practiced every day. If you found this video useful, subscribe to Decoded Longevity. We break down the science of living longer into simple, actionable content every week. And if you want to go deeper on any one of these habits, let us know in the comments which one you want decoded next. See you in the next one.